As soon as it gets to the 12th house, we have the it's the house of conscientiousness, or fitting in or not fitting in, or where do I belong. It's often the point of behind the scenes trying to be hidden and supporting causes. Well, if you have shock in that 12th house, you have Uranus in that 12th house, you could be really a special genius, but you wouldn't necessarily want anyone to know it. So it often can come out as a mystical excitement or a spiritually, a new take on a difficult situation. Here's these problems. I can never fix the way Dad thinks. I say to him, I got to understand how to do something different. Like, if somebody's doing something wrong and it's going to get people in trouble, the Uranus there says, oh, we'll feel this is starting, this is not, people are laying down, I'm getting dumped on, and my freedom's getting isolated. I have to sacrifice it for other people. And you can't. You have to hold to your own individuality and wait and work to have it come in. Like you're always transforming. I got to do this better. That didn't work. Okay, I got to take this. I can't just follow this person. I can't belong here. I got to do it. So that independent factor starts to work out through one's conscience. It's in a water house. It's an irrational point. We'll get to that. Okay, 9th house of understanding, the ethics, the morality. What's Uranus in an ethical or moral house going to do? It's going to make unconventional morality, unconventional ethics. Whoa, unconventional. So support. You're born in a, your family is strict, born again, Orthodox, any religion. Okay, and if you have the Uranus in the 9th house, you're unconventional and you're not going to buy it. You're going to have a different take on it. In some places that could get you killed. Some places it could get you shunned. But you can't help if you're seeing it differently. You're always trying to transform and take a new take on it, see a new way of looking at it. So it's always trying to break the Saturn to come to something new, but it's trying to make this new innovative and helpful rather than innovative and destructive. It gets destructive when the Saturn or the justice is, there's no justice. And if there's no Saturn, there's no justice with father, with work, with boss, with government, with the laws, then there's a tendency to be really, to identify to the rebellion. Okay, so who do you align with? Who do you want? You're going to be eccentric and independent in who you align with. You'd be more likely to take a unique alignment with someone than with something just traditional, because you're in the boss. You're with the boss. You're in this thing, so you have to go to all the boss's meetings and everything. You're more inclined to think, oh, do I have to go this? I'd rather do something different. I don't want to fit in. But when it came that, okay, there's something, boss is doing something different, this is exciting. Okay, let's go for it. We can take this trip. We can go someplace. So there's an instinctive. This morality house or ethics house, the house of long distance travels, because you run across different beliefs. So with excitement, there's need to have trips or to do things unexpectedly. Take off, travel, go places. Say with a straight job where so many things expected you can't stand, you're going to have to take off and use your holidays to go places that are really different. But your understanding of how the kids should be living or brought up is going to be very different than the people around you, very different than your husband, and there's going to be struggles around that. It's really probably good because you could be innovative around it, and if he aligned or she aligned to go along with that, that would be fine. But if they didn't, and they're expected to be traditional, you're never going to be able to take it. You believe in astrology? How can that be? But even in the church, astrology is filled with it. In the temples, places where it's banned the most, it's so often heavily interwoven with astrology. Every religion uses a calendar. I'm rambling a bit. This is this 9th house. When it's in the 6th house, that can be in health, the health of the hygiene and health. That can be anxious, nervous, worry things. Restlessness about one's health, could it be this, could it be that, and unexpected things coming up. But it really means having to transform things independently. Like you're not so likely just, everyone has a cure for the cold. The Uranus in the 6th house would have the worry about health, but might not be inclined to get the flu shot, for example. Because they might say, why would I put mercury or aluminum in my body? You know, like, even though it's supposed to help, I got to find my own way of fixing things. So you can have an independent, creative person who has special skills. They're the technician that can do special things, and people will want them to work to do it because they're best at it. You know, that innovativeness will come out in the sixth house of improving. I'm improving myself. Look, I fixed this. I did this. I can do this for you. It's like that. It's not a social functional thing. It's I have something independent I can do. And if you want it, you're going to have to come to me. I know how to make the best snowboards around. Everyone will come to get you to get it. Get yours. You know, until you're too busy to do something. But that innovative is in the cadent houses. It's always transforming and changing and shocking way. So it's in a way, Uranus is kind of comfortable there because it adapts and it changes quickly. This is one of the reasons I don't give Uranus a rulership. In the modern, as they come in, people give Uranus to Aquarius, a fixed, rational, strategic sign. They make it, oh, it's so interesting, sudden change and excitement. It's not really. So it's enough that Saturn rules Saturn, Capricorn, and Aquarius. Don't take it out to the other ones. The other ones have a lot of power in other areas. We'll get the information from them as we go along. But right now, we're just seeing it's throwing as soon as anything goes in the wheel, it's like the prayer wheel, as soon as anything goes in this wheel, it's going to spin out into the world. So, and the planet will align to the side, to the quadrants, to the sections that it's in. You have all those sections there. It's just adding this extra element into it of that planet. So when you have the fire houses, fire likes to burn energy. Our first house, identity. Our fifth house, performance. You know, and the ninth house of ethics and understanding, our morality. So I'm proud about my principles. I'm proud about my identity. I'm proud about my performance. Don't tell me I shouldn't do this. So like there's a pride. So when you have a fiery element to Uranus, it's going to excite. The excitement is going to be, I got to act on it. I do something. There's a tendency to be proactive, exciting. I'm a different person. I'm going to wear these crazy clothes, or I'm going to look different for shock value. I'm going to pick up this special understanding, and I'll do it. Nobody else believes it. I'm going to take it that way, and I think that I'm going to have some special things to play with, some eccentric or special thing I do. Nobody else may be doing it, but I know how to do it better than anyone, and I'm getting good at it. So the excitement and to be innovative in these places, it's fairly positive. The negativity is if whenever you block the freedom or block the excitement, it becomes anxiety or worry. So it can lead to breakdowns, but usually it should be a breakthrough. And usually the breakthroughs come from letting go of old things. But this is just, in the fire, you're just burning. Let's burn for some excitement. But one in the ascendant, in the first house, it's going to push for it. And the ninth house is going to align to it. And the fifth house is going to react to it. It's going to be based on how I'm feeling, I can do my performance. Okay. So again, all of these things, it's easy to spend an evening just on any one factor. And again, when you're applying it to one person, you're saying, oh, it's that one. You're really working with one, you know, and you're seeing the personal things, so you can observe how someone's reacting. Oh, that's this part. That's why you're like that, you know, like, and then you can talk to someone about it in your own words. It doesn't have to be, the keywords we're using here are just useful ones to keep our thoughts on track. But when you're talking to someone, you just talk, once you know what the issue is, you're talking around it, and it expands. It's not just, you're not defining someone, you're tuning into how their functions are. You're seeing the lenses that they work through. So when it's in the earth houses, these are the practical, materialistic, down-to-earth houses. My resources, my talents, my duty, my skills, my status and position. So if Uranus is in a practical house, it's not going to be that practical. Your challenge is then to make practical innovations, to make changes, but they got to be practical. So in a way, that's a caution to the Uranus. It might be good. It could be really good in terms of practical innovation, but usually you see sudden changes disrupt the practical things. The excitement and the changes are not practical, and they're happening anyways, and you're trying to get a practical take on it when it's changing. So that's how the anxiety can come in it. Jobs are changing. I got to do something independent, but there's not, that position isn't there. What are you going to do? Do you work for yourself or not? Like, it's the excitement is not practical, but being practical, in a way, it's being practical to get something exciting to do or independent to do or innovative to do, because you thrive on it if you have the Uranus there. And not doing that and just taking a secondary position would be more neurotic and more unstabilizing for all your relationships. So with the earth signs, there's an instinct to be practical, down to earth. And Uranus is down to earth, but especially this unique way. It's got to be different, not just that way. We got to do it a different way now. We got to change this. So it's that change, the practical side is a little threatening, and that's where the anxiety would come out of it. But because the anxiety is there, a person with that can work to be innovative in making those practical changes and find their own special take on it. Electricity is getting so hot, so much. I don't want to go off the grid, it's too crazy, but maybe we can put a bunch of tiles on our roof and get some electricity. Yeah, it's practical. But the disruptions to the practicality are also there too. So there's the natural urge of the house position is to be practical and down to earth. Uranus is trying to stir it up a little bit and change some of the practicalness. Take a risk now and then. And now and then it might be useful. Not taking a risk would to counter that, would be a negation of the Uranus. It would cause all sorts of anxieties and worries and restlessness. Sleepless nights. In the air houses, it's about communication. So normal practical communication is often strategic and thinking, I can express this, somebody's listening to this, I'm saying this, it's communicating, it's talking back and forth, knowing how to use the language. But with Uranus there, it makes it restless, anxious, quick. I want to think for myself. So you might I want to play this instrument, but I don't necessarily want to I don't want to spend 2 years doing scales. I want to improvise. There's a need to look for exciting and different ideas. So in the third house, that's innovative reading and communications, to express yourself in a unique way, whether it's poetry, whether it's rap, whether it's even in a business, to have your own take on your own ideas of how things should be, your own way of expressing yourself that can shock or excite people. But if it's in the 11th house with friendship, there's a need to have exciting friends. But that can also mean there's unstable friends. I really had this really exciting friend, then they went for the career and they moved, and they're still friends, but I don't know where they are. Like, you can have that element, but there's still a need to push to have exciting friends. To be innovative, to do innovative things with friends. So first, the 5th house is your personal performance and your creativity, like the lover. The 11th house is your social performance, like having parties, social functions that are stimulating you activity. Let's go see a band, let's go do this, see the theater. Like, it's going out and doing things. Although with the web now, a lot of these social things that were normally social functions as I was growing up are no longer that, because you can get them just on the web without being socially interactive. So people are getting lots of information, seemingly fulfilling these things, but really they're becoming dysfunctional from really interacting with each other. That's useful politically, but it's not necessarily in someone's best interest. So with Uranus in these communication houses, there's a need to communicate, to talk excitingly, to have unconventional things to say. You're not going to want to be bored with your partner or your friends, or have anyone bored with you if Uranus is in these houses. At the same time, the minute worries come up, you're going to want to share the ideas and talk about them. Try and see a way out. But usually you're trying to figure it out yourself and doing it, and it's a little shocking, but that's part of your way of expression.